Did you hear? Darkspawn in Dogtown. If I'm not here tomorrow, they probably got me.
Masked mystery. Secrets of the Viper. Reliable source.
Hey, Rook.
I heard some people lost their homes. I wish there was something I could do.
What could you do anyway?
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
Andaran Atishan.
Anathara. I wish we could be meeting without our gods threatening to blight the world.
A blight that spreads wider with each passing heartbeat.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited, and about the people depending on you. I'm asking you to take down a pair of gods. You're not going to be able to do that if you're worried about my approval. But if you listen to your friends, and remember the people you're fighting for, you'll get through this.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the South?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
We think their goal is to prevent the South from rallying to aid any war effort up here. It's working. The armies of the South have their hands full protecting their own cities. But some friends and I are doing what we can to rally them together. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the blight.
I've been having some trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength.
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the veil. to him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Solus is trapped in the Fade. He's not my biggest concern at the moment.
Solus is trapped in your dreams, and while he cannot match Elganon or Gillenane in strength, he is far more cunning. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many times do you think the gods thought him trapped and helpless?
Solus was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Father gives me an allowance and I barely use any of it. I could donate some to those who need it more.
You're adorable. Trying so hard.
Ah, something's blocking it from the other side.
So, does Manfred have, people, thoughts, and feelings?
Excellent coordination.
Everyone ready? Everyone all right?
Oh yes, thank you. As we were saying,
So, does Manfred have, people, thoughts, and feelings?
his self-expression may be limited, but Manfred is as cognizant of his surroundings as you or I. To a certain degree.
Got it.
You hear stories of Blight and Ferelden. I'd seen bits of it, but not like Demetta's Crossing. Not like here.
Digging over the same areas. What was he searching for?
Stupid way to dig if you really want to find something. Good.
This was farmland.
Like where my ma lives.
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
Nice. Hey, messing with the blight boils made it mad.
We need to stop it.
down.
And another sample.
That's gotta be enough samples.
Yeah. Let's get back to Veilguard and Antoine.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me...
We knew things were bad. But if the blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden...
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Do you know what happens when reality throws rules out the window? I do. You adapt your plans or you die.
Save the speech for your friends in Arlethan.
Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. He's telling the truth. The blight has changed, and that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
No one here wants blight to spread. We can work together.
You're in no place to make offers. You tampered with a ritual that unleashed blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
Are talks with him ever pleasant?
We talked about the rain once. It was neutral.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgar'nan had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
Finally agrees to meet for a report, then he all but calls you a liar.
I think you were included in that.
Thanks.
You need to head back to Weishaupt.
Soon. We can risk a small delay before we're missed.
We'll continue helping here for a while. And help you on the way if we can.
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except me, seems like. Guess the First Warden didn't like me joining your team.
Calling Wardens back from all over Thedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive Darkspawn horde on the move. Even hearing there's an Archdemon with them.
We need to warn the Wardens. Let them know what's coming.
Agreed. Rook, if the gods have an Archdemon, Warden lore says Archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind. We need to know what we're up against.
I'll talk to Solus, see if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.
Manifestation.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Keep dreaming. It's good to have goals in life.
The real dream is getting him to take a nap. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. They've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
And just how wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun. Right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
Has your first warden always been, well...
a stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it.
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elganon and Gillenane won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
I heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Huh. Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
A hot meal and warm bed in Weishaupt is better than rotting in some dungeon.
It would be, but the food's always cold, and Weishaupt's drafty in the winter.
Are you really selling it?
It gets better. When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the Warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the Warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kinda like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden. Has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Tosh, what's going on? Something is clearly bothering you.
My bet's on mothers and dresses.
It's just something my mother said the other day. That I act more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy.
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
This isn't about the dress, is it?
No, it's... I don't know. She always says stuff like that. About how I dress, how I act.
And?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right. Why does it feel right?
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
If you don't want to talk about it anymore, we won't. But whatever this is, this team is here for you.
I still don't know what this is.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at, I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did, sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that, it's kind of mean.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Probably just tell them what to do.
Right. Don't waste time on them. Just get to the point. Let's try it. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan. A steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. That was us.
A forgotten one? You mean the bad gods parents use to scare their kids into behaving?
Don't speak their name or they'll come for you. Now we know what the so-called good gods were like. Really like, I mean. So who knows what they really were? The Forgotten Ones. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important. and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
Have fun with the condescending spirit.
I'll try. Could be worse, I guess.
Worse, like the wound of betrayal Lord Anaris suffered. Soon he will cast down the oppressors and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Any luck tracking down your mystery friend?
Orzammar has requested I stop harassing their citizens with my talk of dwarven magic.
Wish we had time to head down there and show them what you can do.
I don't think that would have helped.
But think how satisfying it would be.
Yeah. What's satisfying about being thrown in a Deep Roads prison? Orzammar takes its heritage very seriously.
So, what now?
I was thinking, the voice said look to those closest to the stone. What if she never meant Orzammar?
Huh?
There is another great Tig, the original capital of the dwarves, Kalsharak. It was lost during the First Blight, and its people survived in isolation for hundreds of years. They re-emerged, some 20 years ago?
And you think they're closer to the stone?
Orzammar can't help. What have I got to lose?
I'm curious about Kalsharak's isolation.
The dwarves took heavy losses during the First Blight. To stop the Darkspawn from overrunning them, they closed off passages in the Deep Roads. Those that could retreated to Orzammar. Kalsharak was lost. They abandoned the city and its people, sealed them away with the Darkspawn.
There must have been another way. What they did was monstrous.
Can you imagine being trapped, knowing death was coming?
But they didn't die. The rumors.
That the dwarves of Kalsharak had to change to survive? No one's really sure what that means exactly.
When we find them, you can ask. Are you sure Orzammar isn't hiding something?
Pressing them for information would be tricky. I could anger someone important. If Kalsharak doesn't turn out, I can go back to poking at Orzammar. But not before then.
How do we get in touch with these Kalsharak dwarves?
Already working on it. You don't spend 10 years in the Inquisition without making contacts. I should have a meeting set up by the time we're ready to leave.
Interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods? Well, mine and Davrin's, and Rook's.
It's not every day you witness the start of a religion. I wonder if they're all this disappointing.
I wish they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solus, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solus were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
I think I get where Mythal is coming from.
Really?
You've just finished some big war. Everyone is exhausted, and now Elganon won't give up power. If Mythal sided with Solus, would Elganon have backed down?
Not a chance.
It would have led to another war. Mythal tried to keep the peace.
And Solus must see that, but still can't accept that she chose peaceful politics over his ideals.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solus wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solus? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dreadwolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solus would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
Shit. You shouldn't have to deal with all this, Rook. The sooner I can get out of here, the better.